You mentioned working with immigrants who are new to the United States. Are there any restrictions in working with foreign nationals?
No, I mean, I think, we try to be open to all groups. Basically, we try to target low to moderate income communities because those are the communities that need us most. They happen to be in more minority communities, but we're really open to working with everybody. There are some folks that, maybe haven't stabilized their immigration status yet, maybe haven't established a credit history. So what we try to do is try to help them become formal. And so we try to give them a lot of technical assistance in that aspect as well.
Okay. And how does Accion define low to moderate income?
Well, basically, I mean, we try to have some cutoff levels in terms of revenues, right? So, I mean, we generally look at businesses that have under $500,000 of annual gross business sales. And we look at HUD guidelines, the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
I'm sorry, what was the number again that you use as the cutoff?
Well, we try to use it as a benchmark. Obviously, there's folks that might come a little bit outside that, but basically, businesses that have under $500,000 in gross revenues on a yearly basis. So,
well, I would bargain to say that there's probably quite a large market, not only here in Miami but across the United States, that is under that $500,000 benchmark. Because, and you mentioned before that you did a quick study and you saw there were 77 micro enterprises here in the Miami-Dade community. I would say that there's probably 5 times that amount, because if you look at anybody who's really got an idea and they're trying to provide a service, whether that's someone who's doing salon styling, or the guy who's beginning a maintenance company and working in these condo buildings. I mean,
you hit it right on the nail on the head. I mean, 77,000 just in Dade here that we've estimated. 77,000 just in Dade here. So, I mean, you can imagine there's folks that are flying under the radar, that probably don't conceive of themselves as a small business, but, they're pretty much bringing in the income for their family, the sole breadwinners of their family, doing what they do, like you said. Maybe they're starting up maintenance for a condo building. Maybe it's doing braids at home, before they go out and launch it on the street. So, there's a couple, we try to service, both the informal and the formal and try to get folks into the more formal sector.
Right. Now, for those people who are considered in the informal, perhaps an at-home business, doing, styling hair or providing manicures or pedicures or whatever it is, what are the qualifications to apply for an Accion microloan?
Well, what we really try to do is give people a lot of one-on-one assistance. So everybody's kind of at a different spot, right? So they come in and we try to, work with them in their specific situation. So let's say it's a home-based business and they want to try to get formal. Well, we'll sit down with them and we'll sort of map out, okay, this is what you need to do. Try to link them up with other services in the community, whether it's accounting, maybe it's setting up your DBA or your corporation, maybe it's working with some of our legal partners that we actually work with to give free legal advice for commercial businesses. So it sort of depends on where people are at, and we try to get them on the path where it's a sustainable business. So
maybe the better question is, what is considered formal? Is it that the entrepreneur, the small business owner, micro entrepreneur has a legally registered company? Is that considered?
Sure. It could be people could run it individually, like a sole proprietorship, and so all they would need to do is register their name and then file their taxes at the end of the year. And then it could also be a little bit one step further, which would be a corporation or a partnership, and then it's sort of a different legal entity, and it becomes much more formal.
Okay, and what about those people in the audience that have an idea of a business that they want to pursue but maybe haven't been in a position to take that leap of faith?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of folks like that. I mean, we get tons of calls every week for folks, I'm thinking of starting a small business. So I think people are at kind of different levels. There's folks that are ready to go, they've done all their research and want to get going, all they need is the financing, and then
I just need the money!
Exactly. So Accion kind of comes in and is able to finance those types of startup businesses depending on how organized they are. And then there's the folks that still are deciding what they want to do, and so we work with partners, organizations that give technical assistance, very in-depth provides technical assistance to try to help people develop that plan.
Okay, so it sounds like you've got a wide range of services that you guys can offer. Now, do you charge for your consulting services?
Well, no. I mean, through the application process, people get a lot of free advice by working with their loan officer, working one-on-one, trying to get people on track. But we don't charge. There's no application fee.
And how many companies or micro enterprises is Accion USA currently serving?
Here in Miami or across the United States?
In Miami.
In Miami, about 350. It's changing every day because we just do disbursements every week, but about 350 to date. So that's a little bit of under 2 years.
And then what about in the United States in general?
We've serviced over 10,000 businesses in since 1991, and so it's a new network, but we're the largest micro enterprise network in the United States.
Well, it's so fascinating to hear the growth of micro enterprises and micro lending. Stay tuned with Luz Gomez of Accion USA after this break.
For adventure and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace.
His phone's taken.
Explode into space.
Sir, will this help you?
Nature's child. We were born to be wild. We can climb so high.
Hey, thanks.
I never wanna die.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Gratitude. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to Miami's Global Connection. I'm Whitney Belker, and today I'm talking to Luz Gomez of Accion USA. Luz, we were talking about the dynamics of the growth of the micro enterprise and micro loan industry. You mentioned that Accion USA is servicing 10,000 micro enterprises in the United States.
That's what we've done over the past since we've opened in 1991. So we've serviced 10,000 business owners, over 10,000 business owners.
Now, what about on a global basis? Because I understand that Accion was very active in Latin America prior to beginning in the United States.
Exactly. We started actually